and this video will be over turn technique. So the first thing we're going to talk about is spotting, and this is super important for your turn so that you don't get dizzy and that you can stay in line with yourself. And so spotting is just keeping your eyes on one thing on the wall, and it's best when you're starting to spot something like above you, so as like that's not on your eye level, because your eyes will come down inevitably since you're spotting. So once you find that something, as you turn, the goal is to not take your eyes off of it. So even though you're obviously going to face the back and have to move your neck some, the idea is that as soon as you have to turn your neck, you're going to whip. And that's just the biggest thing, to make sure that your turns are even and that you stay like in line with yourself. So whenever we go, you're just going 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's the biggest thing with spotting. Okay, so that was spotting on your right, and for the left it's the same thing, except you're going over your right shoulder. But same things apply with keeping your eyes up and making sure your eyes leave your spot for very little time as you turn. So you're going with your right shoulder crossing your body, so it'll look like this, whip, and whip. It's all the same things, just on the other side. Okay, now we're gonna prep for our turns. So this is for your right turns. So you're gonna put your right foot out with a pointed toe, with the top of your foot facing front, and you're gonna put your arms out in a strong T. And this is gonna be 1, 2. You're gonna put your right foot in back and move your right arm into the front, 3, 4. And you're gonna wanna make sure that both of your knees are bent and you're centered in between both of your legs. And if anybody wanted to push you over, they couldn't. Woo, woo, no movement. So we're gonna go 1, 2, back, 3, 4, and you really wanna make sure that everything right here is all tight and your hips are stacked underneath your shoulders. This is prep for your left turn. You're gonna point just like the right. You're gonna go out 1, 2, back, 3, 4, and you're just gonna hold it really strong. Make sure that your weight is centered once again, and your arms and everything else is really held tight.
Okay, so now we're gonna go over the prep, but with a releve hold. So, like Alyssa said, you're gonna go out with your right foot, make sure it's pointed, and then you're gonna go back into your prep. From here, you wanna make sure you have a really deep plie so that you can push off your back foot up into your releve. So, you're here. All you're gonna do is you're gonna take your right foot and push up so that you get power, and your left foot's gonna be the supporting foot, so that one's gonna go on releve. So you're gonna push up onto releve, and your arms are just gonna come in first position. So you're here, and then you push up. And you really wanna make sure you're squeezing everything, your back, your abs, your butt, everything applies whenever you're holding yourself up, because if you're not holding it, then you're gonna go woo, all over the place. Also, you wanna make sure that when you're in your releve, your body, your hips are still stacked under your shoulders so that you don't fall any sort of way and that you're not leaning too far forward or too far back. One more thing is that you wanna make sure your passe is this little crease inside your foot. It's just gonna stick right in your knee, like that. And you're gonna point your foot, and your knee is gonna be facing the front. Okay, now, left side. It's the same thing. You're gonna point your left foot, go into your prep, and then push up and hold your left. Same concepts apply.
All right, so now we're gonna do quarter turns all the way up to singles. And so this is putting all the stuff we've learned for our prep and our passe hold, releve holds together. So same thing, you're gonna go out for your right side, right foot out 1, 2, back 3, 4, and then for quarter turns, you're just getting to this side wall on your right side. So 1, 2, 3, 4, turn 5, 6, and then you'll be down. And so making sure as you go quarter turns is obviously going to take a lot less than going around for your double or a single, but the biggest thing is controlling it and making sure that all the things we maintain in our passe releve holds are there. So from a quarter turn, like this, where my hips are still stacked and my releve is connected, or my passe is connected and I'm on releve. That's the way that you're gonna get around for everything else. And so that's a quarter turn, and then we'll do half turns where you're just getting to the back. Same thing, 1, 2, back, 3, 4, turn to the back, and out. And it's still just building up that control and strength, and then we can do 3/4 turns to the left wall. 1, 2, 3, 4, turn to the wall, and out. And then a single is just putting that all together and making sure you're spotting to get yourself all the way around back to the front. So right foot out, 1, 2, back, 3, 4, turn, 5, 6, and out. Okay, so for the left side, it's all the same things, but now you're just switching sides and the way you're going around. So a quarter turn on your left is your left foot going out. 1, 2, back, 3, 4, turn, 5, and out. Remember, same thing with our right, you're building control and keeping your form, so keeping your hips stacked over your shoulders and keeping your releve high and your passe connected. Half turns, same thing, just getting to the back. 1, 2, 3, 4, turn, 5, and out. And then 3/4 turns, getting to your right wall. 1, 2, back, 3, 4, turn, 5, and out. And then whenever we do our singles, it's putting all of this control together, and spotting now is gonna be the biggest thing you have to focus on, making sure you whip your head around and keep yourself spotting to the front. So out, 1, 2, back, 3, 4, turn, 5, and out.
Okay, something to remember about your turns is that when you're prepping to the back, you want to make sure that we're not super far away, because it's going to take a lot more energy and time to get this leg all the way up and forward, and then you're going to fall forward because you have to push so far. So you really just want to make sure that it's right under you and you're on both of your legs bent at 90 degrees and you can come straight up.
One big thing to remember about turns, and when you're in your releve passe, you want to make sure that you're keeping your foot within your
Hey, Josh.
so that it doesn't sickle, because that looks gross. So just make sure that it stays connected the whole time and it's nice and pointed.
Okay, and one last thing to watch out for in your turns is making sure that in your prep, when your arms are in an L, that they're not going out of an L and going way back here to try to wind you up and around. So on your left, it looks like this, and then whenever you go into your turns, you can see how my arm is way back here now. And it's the same thing as lunging too far back, that you're throwing yourself further off center, and that's just gonna make it harder for you to turn in the long run.